press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello my dear students, today I am going to start with a new chapter, that is motion and measurement of the distance. See, in this chapter you will learn some key learning points, and these key learning points which help you to understand the concept of this lesson. See, before going to the key learning point, let us know about what is the meaning of the motion. See, motion is nothing but the movement. According to the motion, the object or the part of a body which changes at the given time. If the changes will be occur at the given time, we call it as a motion. See, motion is nothing but at a given time, the movement of the body or the takes place is called as a motion. An object or a part of it, an object or its part, changes its position with the given time is called as motion. See, what is the meaning of then motion means? A object or its part, whatever the object it may be, either in our body also, if at a particular time, if our body means if a part of a body is moved, then we call it as a motion. And here also the object or its part changes its position with the given time is called as motion. See, for example, we see different types of vehicles which is running from one place to the another place. For example, if we observe the car, it will move from one place to another place. We call it as a motion, and thereby movement will be occur. At the given temperature, at the given time, the changes will be occur in those objects, then we consider as a motion. See, this is the definition of the motion, and later we will discuss more about the motion. And here, just to understand the concept of the motion, I will write the definition here. See, not only the movement or the motion will take place in the vehicle, in our human body also, we move our hand, we move our body parts like a head, different types of body parts will be moved according to the time, and thereby we said to be as a motion. Motion will be occur in a body also, and we see different types of animals also move from one place to another place. There are various reasons will be there. They move from one place to another place either by the search of the food or by the breeding purpose or by the favorable condition. Like that, different types of animals and even human beings also move from one place to another place, and where the movement will be occur, then there is a motion will be occur, and this motion is nothing but the position will be changed at the given time. We call it as a motion. See, this is the brief introduction about the motion, and let us move on to the key learning points. See, in this first one is the history of the transport. See, transportation means a thing or some substance which helps to move one place to another place by using the human beings. See, by carry the goods, and even the people will sit in those transport system, like different types of transportation will be present in the surrounding, like motor vehicles, car, train, aeroplane, different types of transportation will be present. And in this chapter we will learn about the history of the transportation or the transport. And next one is the need for measurement. A proper measurement will help us to understand the concept of the measurement. See, if we don't have the proper measurement, then we can't even get to know about the accurate result or the accurate measurement. See, for example, if we have to measure the pencil Then we have to take the 15 centimeter scale in our geometry box, and thereby we can easily measure the length of the pencil. Like that, if centimeter scale we use to measure the pencil, like that there are different types of measurement scales as well as the devices will be there, and thereby we can measure the length as well as the breadth and height we can measure, and this is how needs of measurement will be done. And next one is the importance of the SI unit. SI unit is nothing but the international system of the unit, SI system. See, what is the importance of the SI system? We will learn, and later in the upcoming class we will learn to the SI unit. See, standard system of the unit which help us to understand, and it is one of the acceptable and universal acceptable universal acceptance and the uniformity this SI unit have. See, universal acceptance and uniformity this SI unit throughout the world, and thereby we can say that the importance of the SI unit. See, without having the proper and accurate measurement, we can't even get to know about the measurement, that is the length, we can't even know about the length. And next one is the types of the motion. There are different types of motions are there, and first one is the rectilinear, next circular, next periodic motion. There are like that, there are different types of motions will be there, and in this chapter we will learn in detail about the types of motions. And see, this is all about the key learning points which help us to understand the lesson. Next we shall move on to the history of the transport system. See, before going to the history, let me ask you few questions. See, during the summer vacation, some of the students will go for native villages for different, by using the different transport system. Like some may go from by bus they will go by scooter, like the different transport system they will use, and some of the students or some person will go from one place to another place either by the aeroplanes and trains, like that. Different transport system will be there, and they will choose on the particular and available transport system they will use and choose it, and thereby they will move from one place to the another place. And there, like that, there are varieties of transport system will be present, and one by one we will learn now. See, in which first one is the different types of transport system. See, transportation is nothing but movement of one place to the another place by using the vehicle or any instrument. We call it as a devices, and vehicle we use is called as transportation. And here there are three main types of transportation is there. First one is the air transportation, next one is the water transportation, and third one is the land transportation. See, in which first one is the air transportation. See, as the name only indicates, air transportation, those transportation which is fly in the air is called as air transportation. Usually the air transportation examples are aeroplane, helicopter, glider and a hot balloon. These are few examples of the air transportation where people as well as the goods will transport from one place to another place by the through the air is called as air transportation. And next one is the water transportation. Those transportation which is carried from one place to another place by means of water is called as water transportation. Here example for the water transportations are ships, submarine, boat, etc. These are the examples of the water transportation. Sailboat, ship, boat, sailboat, sailboat, ship, boat, etc. These are the example for the water transportation. Next one is the land transportation. See here in the land transportation usually the vehicles will be moved in the land only. And here example for the land transportation, you all know that there are varieties of transportation which is present in the land. They will it will move from one place to another place through the land only. And here example for the land transportation is the scooter, train, car, a rickshaw, etc. These are the example for the land transportation. See, once again I will tell you the transportation may be categorized into three main categories. One is the air transportation, and next one is the water transportation, and another one is the land transportation. See, one by one we will discuss. Air transportation, those vehicles which transport one place to another place through the air. By the air we call it as a air transportation. Example for the air transportations are aeroplane, helicopter, and there are many examples will be there where we seen in nowadays. And like example aeroplane, helicopter, these are the example for the air transportation. Next one is the water transportation. Those vehicles which move on to the water, on the surface of the water, is called as water transportation. Here ships and sailboat, boat, etc. These are the few examples of the water transportation. Next one is the land transportation. Example for the land transportation is the scooter, train, rickshaw, vehicle, different types of vehicle, cycle also. These are few examples of the land transportation. Next we shall move on to the history of the transport. See, history of the transport, we will learn about what is the history behind the term transportation. See, history of the transportation in ancient times, the people were used to load the different types of carry the loads. To carry the load in ancient time, people carry the loads See, in ancient times, to to carry the loads, people didn't have any means of transportation, and these people were, and those people were used either by the using the so the people will move one place to the another place on the foot, or by using the different types of animals like a bullock and bullock, camels and the ass. See, in the ancient time, people carry the loads. To carry the loads, people use only move one place to another place on by foot and by means of using animals. There are different types of animals they were used, like bullock, ass, camel, etc. These are the animals they were used. And later, see, as I told you, in ancient time, to carry the loads, people usually carry the loads on, they will move from one place to another place on the foot, and by using the different animals like the camel and the ass, they were used to carry and to send one place to the another place, and thereby they will use either by the animals or by carry the goods on their backs. Carry goods on their back. See, history of the transportation. In ancient times, people used to carry the loads on the back of their body, and later they will travel one place to another place on the foot, and or by using the different types of animals like ass and a camel. And this is how in the ancient times the people were used to travel one place to another place by foot, and by carry the different types of goods on their backs, and later by using the animals they will travel one place to the another place to pull the cart, and different types of carts they will carry and pull those carts. And later, and those people who travel or the transport along the route, water route, they will transport one place to another place by means of the boat and ship. Water transport by the boat. Say, along the water route, the people will transport different types of goods, and even people will travel one place to another place by using the boats. And see, the boats having the locks of the boat. The boat will be prepared by using the logs of wood. Logs of wood they will use, and later they will design the shape of a living organisms which are present inside the water, and design the shape of an organisms living in water, and thereby in the logs of wood they will design, and over it takes over the, and later improves the design over the thousands of years. They will improve and modify the structure of the boat. See, And later, this is all about the history of the transportation. See, history of the transportation, in ancient time people will carry the loads, and to carry the loads they will used to travel one place to another place on the foot, and thereby by using the different types of animals like ass and camel they were used. And later the technology and later they will observe and think it over, and later the to carry their goods and on their back, sometimes they will carry the goods on their back, they will travel one place to another place on their food only. And later by using the different types of animals they were used, and there afterwards the people who were transport through the water route, they will use a boat, and here logs of wood will be used, and there is a cavity in between them. See, and cavity will be made or present in the boat, and thereafter they will design the shape of organisms like living organisms which are present in the water. They will design the shape like a streamlined shape in the water, and thereby improves the thousand and this design will be improving and improves over the thousand of years they will improve, and later this is how they will make the use of the boat. And also they will imitate the shape of the ship, imitate the shape of a fish or any living organisms which are present in the water. And usually the fish is having the streamlined structure. See, streamlined is nothing but like this, so that they will by this streamlined structure they will modify the structure of the boat, and thereby they this help them to travel from one place to another place. This streamlined structure which helps the boat to travel one place to another place, it will move on the surface of the water, and this is how they will made a boat. And next we shall move on to the invention of the wheel. See, in the history of the transportation, in which invention of the wheel will be exist. Invention of wheel. See, invention of wheel makes a great changes in those days, where the wheel gives the shape, and later the design will be made, and thereby different animals will be used to pull the cart, and here like that the invention of a wheel come into existence. And usually the domestic animals will be used. Domestic animals were used like bullock, camel, etc. will be used to pull the cart which is made up of a wheel, and like that the invention of a wheel makes the great change in those days. And next one is the invention of the wheel. See, like that see, usually the wheel will be like that. So that the animals will these wheel will be fitted to the cart, and thereby animals will pull the cart and thereby travel one place to another place. Like that in those days invention of the wheel makes a great change, and this is all about the invention of wheel. Next we shall move on to the invention of the steam engine. Steam engines. See, invention of the steam engine makes the great change, when compared to the invention of the wheel. And here in the ending of the 18th century, people mostly dependent on the animal power. See, animal power is nothing but they will depend on the animal. They will travel from one place to another place by using those animals, and thereby we can say that animal power, they will, most people will adopt and dependent on the animal power in the 18th century. At the beginning of the, see, at the end of the 18th century, most of the peoples will depend on the animal power. Whereas at the beginning of the 19th century, the people will be constructed or modified the structure. Steam engine will be came into existence. Steam engines will be come into existence those days, and here the steam engine makes the improvement in those transportation. And here one to carry the goods as well as the people from one place to another place, this steam engine makes a great change in the those days. See, in the end of the 18th century, most people will dependent on the animal power. At the end or at the beginning of the 19th century, the steam engine will be constructed, and thereby they will, by using the steam engine, people can easily transport or move from one place to another place, and also carry the goods as well as the, and even the people will travel. Even people will travel from one place to another place, and thereby in those days the steam engine makes a great change in those days. And next one is the man always wanted to fly like a bird, so that to fly like a bird, people will construct this may lead to hot air balloon. See, man always wanted to fly like a bird, so for this purpose they will create the hot air balloon. Hot air balloon, and the gliders were being constructed, and this may lead to the construction of the aeroplane. So this is all about the history behind the transportation. See, in the ancient, once again I will tell you, in the ancient time, people were greatly adopted to by using the different animals. In the ancient times, people to carry the loads, they will carry the loads on their back, and by using the legs, they will travel one place to another place on the foot, and thereby by using the different animals like ass, camel, bullock, they were used, and like that the people will move from one place to another place at a short distance, and sometimes the long distance they will travel. And thereby next one is the invention of the wheel. See, invention of the wheel in those days make a great demand and great changes in those days, and this invention of the wheel makes the people to carry the loads, and even the people will move from one place to another place by using the different animals which pulls those carts, and thereby they will travel one place to another place. And next one is the invention of the steam engine. See, invention of the steam engine makes the great change in those days. At the end of the 18th century, most people will be dependent on the animal power, and in the 19th century, steam engine will be comes. At the beginning of the 19th century, steam engine will be made, and thereby people will carry the goods and even they will travel from one place to another place. And also this is how the history behind the transportation make into existence. And next one is the man always wanted to fly like a bird. For this purpose they will prepare the hot air balloon and also the glider. This may lead to the construction of the aeroplanes and also the helicopter. Like that different types of transportation will be made. And even though technology has been improving, there are varieties of transportation will be made and can be used in nowadays also. So this is all about the history of the transportation. Next we shall move on to the measurement of distance travelled. See, next one is the measurement of the distance travelled. And measurement of the distance travelled and width of a disc. See, we move one place to another place and we measure by how far we reached, which determines the length from the starting point, that is initial point, to the ending point or the last point. We have to measure like that. We have to measure the different types of object by measuring the distance. If we move in a straight line, see, if we move in a straight line, we have to measure the straight way. If we move in a curved lines, then we have to move then we have to measure in a curved manner. See, like that, in the similar way, the dimension of the desk can be measured. See, the dimension of the desk see, the dimension of the desk can be done by measuring the width, length and also the breadth. By measuring the width, length and breadth of the desk, we can easily measure the length. And thereby for measuring the desk of a classroom, see, in the classroom there are various types of desk will be there, and we have to measure the dimension of the desk. We have to measure the width, length as well as the breadth we have to measure. And see, for measuring the desk we have to use string, a small string we have to use, and thereby we make a knot from the starting and the ending. After measuring the width, length as well as the breadth, we have to mark it, and thereby we can measure with the help of a scale or any devices. See, either by string we have to measure by folding into the half, 1/8 and 1/4 we have to measure. See, by folding the string we have to measure half, 1/4 and 1/8. Like that we have to measure the dimension of the desk. See, dimension, we can measure the length, width, length as well as the breadth of a desk we can measure, easily measure by using the string. See, beside this string, if we want to measure with the help of a scale, it's somewhat difficult for us to measure in a proper way. So for this purpose we have to use the simple tool or simple device or simple instrument like a string we have to use, and later we have to fold 1/2, 1/4 and 1/8. Like that we have to fold it, and afterwards by taking the length of this string we have to confirm that the length of the or the dimension of the desk we have to measure completely, and it gives the accurate result also. So this is all about the, in today's class we will learn about the history of the transportation and the measurement of the distance traveled and width of the desk we have to measure. See, dimension is nothing but the width, length and the breadth of a desk we have to measure, and by using the string we have to measure and fold it into 1/2, 1/4 as well as the 1/8 time we have to fold it, and later we have to measure the desk of dimension of the desk. See, this is all about the today's class. In next class we will learn about some more concept which is related to this chapter. Thank you.